so Barry.
Yes.
You graduated from Randolph, and then what happened?
I was really fortunate to get an agent right away, so I was auditioning and in the circuit immediately.
In Toronto, of course.
In Toronto. And, oh, yes, I almost didn't graduate with the show and you got it. Cooking at the Cookery.
I did.
Cooking at the Cookery.
In Alabama.
Yes. It was one of those where I remember everybody was like, I don't think Lisa's coming back because she's like in the runnings for this show. And I'm like, I can't believe I'm in the runnings for this show. And for real though. And so everybody was just like, we don't know how to cast the final season because if she's here, that changes things. And if she's not, that changes things. Right. And I was like, I love that if I'm here or not, that changes things. That's
how cool is that?
So great. And then I didn't get it. And so I finished off the year and I got to play a really great part. So I was like, I got to be Miltoy in Dangerous Liaisons. Okay. First play I ever did. Within, about a year, I was working at Shaw, and then after that I was at Stratford. I mean, I'd made a list. I want to work at Shaw, I want to work at Stratford, I want to do a U.S. national commercial, I want to do a TV movie, I want to, I want to be on a TV show, and I thought I'd like set myself up for like the next 10 years, and then within like 3 years of being out of theater school, you're like, check. And this is when they say you need to make your goals bigger. And I know for a lot of people that's actually that does take quite a significant amount of time. So I'm not saying anything about that. It was just I didn't expect it to happen like that. I didn't expect it to unfold like that, which I understand later. That just having that at the beginning of my career opened up so many doors. I got everything I wanted.
You got everything you wanted. It just wasn't the way.
I wasn't specific because what I should have said is like play a lead at
because I didn't. I really there's so many times that
I think that's helpful.
I got all the things that I wanted.
Why am I not?
But just not in the way that I wanted them. Now, again, don't get me wrong. Sometimes I did get the things that I actually wanted. Like, I did really want Cooking at the Cookery. You know what I mean? Like, I did really want Charlene and Amos Behave. And I wanted those parts, which I've been very fortunate enough to play in TV and film and on stage. But I would look back and be like, I don't feel fulfilled. Why is that? And because I hadn't written the goal down in the right way. I want to be on a Broadway stage. Sure enough, I was on a Broadway stage. Wasn't in the show, but I was on because my friend was in the show. She took me on the Broadway, like things like that you'd be like, I did do the things that I said I was going.
Yeah.
How well, and then so that's another thing that I'm always really aware of now that I be impeccable with your word. When you say that you want something, make sure you know what it is that you want,
and then have the audacity to really even like speak it into existence. For sure.
How did TV and film come into your life?
TV and film came into my life because I really wasn't happy with the parts that I was getting in theater.
And what does that mean exactly?
That means I was getting asked to hold a spear or be a tree or a maid or a servant, and I'd have 0 lines and I wouldn't get to do anything, and I was like, that's okay. But then I kind of was just like, you know what, this is just too long and I'm not getting paid a lot, and like if this is what it's gonna be, then I got to start figuring other stuff in and around it. And so I was like, let me just, give TV a shot. Because TV, ironically enough, was the place that was like, hey, we'll take you. And it was like I was being screen tested and seen for leads. So set on being like a serious actor because I love to make jokes in life. And so I was like, no. Comedians don't get Oscars.
So, that ain't no joke, guys. That's something that's a new thing, Jamie Foxx. Okay, this is a new situation. Just as hard, different kind of hard, and sometimes much harder or much more difficult. Is that much harder?
You know what?
You know what?
It's my show. To the comments.
It's my show.
I didn't want to do any comedy because I wanted to be taken seriously as an actor and not fall into the comedy circuit, even though that's what I love to do and love to be around. So for years and years and years, nobody even knew that I was funny, unless you knew me. And so my agent, every time, a funny part would come up, they're just like, no, she's really hilarious. And it's like, she's quite a dramatic actress. And I'm just like, how? And so like it turned on me. And so like just before I graduated from theater school, I was just like, I'm going to do a comedy. I'm going to do a comedic monologue. And the more I kept working on it, I was like, this is so serious, man. This ain't nothing to laugh at. And then everybody laughed. And I was like, I don't understand. But I was that actor who...
But that's the thing that I think is a misnomer, is that when you're doing comedy, you play it straight. The comedy comes because it's the melodrama.
Totally.
Like, that's where the comedy comes in. But we don't know that.
No.
We're
oblivious to it.
I got into Sheridan with a comedic monologue that I thought was dead serious. Did not know because I'd never taken any dramatic courses
Right.
before except for one drama course, and the teacher was like, "You're wasting your life. You're gonna become a lawyer. What are you doing?" It was tears. She's like, "You need to go to a theater school," and she called all the theater schools in Ontario. And Sheridan was the only one that was having any auditions left because it was the end of university, that first year of university. And I went. She was like, "They're like, she'll be ready in 2 weeks," and I had this one monologue, and I thought it was
Gonna make them cry.
Listen,
You're like, you're gonna weep.
And
when I get to that part,
well, because the girl was special needs. That's not funny.
That's not funny.
And she was having like trauma.
That's not funny.
And so I did my monologue and blah blah blah. I sang my songs with no accompaniment because never sang before. Did all that stuff. Got into the school, and the first day of school at Sheridan, you do all your things for your peers.
Oh.
So I'm getting ready to do my monologue. People are peeing themselves, and I am getting angrier.
It makes you even more serious.
More serious?
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to get you.
It is not funny.
It is so
When my
serious.
pants split, it was embarrassing. And by embarrassing, I mean the guy that I really liked
was
said
standing
it.
right there.
He was right there. Why are you laughing at me? It's so real.
Did not know. Did not know, guys.
I didn't know either.
To hear more from Lisa Berry, tune in next time on The Blacktor Studio. Get to those places, potentially, and you would be spear holder number 2 to the left.
Yeah.
And then
A
you're
little bit more to the left. A little bit more to the left.
almost off stage.
Almost off stage. Not quite. But just fill the scene. Make
the world.
Make the world feel real and alive. You know what I mean? Like, look, pay attention to the conversation, but don't. You know,
Yeah. Don't pull focus. For sure, don't pull focus.
Just don't pull focus, and you're like, done.
Yeah.